Time is now 5:35 a.m. on a Monday. It is Monday, 22nd of July, 2024. Wow. My mother's 90th birthday. I should call her and wish her a happy birthday. Yeah. So now I'm heading to the bank to make a deposit because I've got $320 from tonight's exploits or misadventures, depending on how you want to call them. Here, maybe put a little more light on me. It's kind of hazy and it's hazy and kind of overcast, cloudy this morning, which is good. That means it won't get so hot. I have my little window air conditioner at home that's going full blast and can't keep up, or hasn't been able to keep up with things the way they've been the last few weeks. So now it's, I did $320, and I got to deposit half of that to the bank, and the rest is Interac. And I have enough cash to get to fuel up too, so that's good. And it was a night that was alternating busy and quiet, and I had some good luck from my generous customer who gave me much more than he really needed to, but that's the way it goes with my very generous customer. And as far as things go, yeah, maybe it will be a successful week. If it keeps going the way this night went, I'll be quite happy. I got to watch quite a bit of video, and I got to sleep somewhat too. I think I slept for at least an hour at one point, which is just right. After I make my bank deposit and fuel up, I'll go home and have the car back in time for what's his face. I got 4 more nights to go this week, as this was just the beginning of the week. Time is now 4 a.m. I just dropped off at the airport. It was a successful enough night. It was steady enough. At one point I did go to sleep between like 11 and 12, but for the rest of it I was distracted enough by calls to keep me from getting to sleep. I did watch some videos, yeah. And I've got now, with this airport run, $290 on. So I'm doing okay this week so far. This has been a relatively good night. We had fewer cars on the road, I think, tonight. So that's what made it so that they weren't all crowding the part of town where I like to work. And it was relatively quiet, but I got a good share of trips, which is nice. Yeah, this is earlier than I've been to the airport in a while. 4 o'clock. Wow. He says his plane leaves at 6, so he's got 2 hours to kill at the airport, and I don't think anything opens until 6, like, you know, the coffee shop or the breakfast bar or whatever. So that's a lot of fun, waiting for your flight. 2 hours with nothing to do. I had it happen once that I had 7 or 8 hours of nothing to do, flying to Toronto and arriving at midnight so that I could catch my morning flight down to Orlando at 9 o'clock or something like that. Had I taken a flight from the same day, I would have been in Toronto too late to get the flight down to Orlando. Whatever. That's many, many years ago. And I don't know if I'm ever going to fly again. I don't know where I'm going to fly to. Couldn't tell you. I don't know. My yearning for travel is kind of used up. I don't really have a yearning for travel anymore. Anyway, we're on the dark part of the road here. So just checking in to let you know that it's been a successful night so far. And maybe I'll have a little more success in the next couple hours driving a few people to work. Anyways, 3 nights to go this week. Another day, another trip to the airport. What are these guys doing? Oh, drive. Why don't you drive? Ugh. Okay, well, it was not a bad night. Well, it was slow to begin with. I slept in by an extra hour and only realized that it was an hour later when I was on my way to work, because I fell asleep while my oven was preheating. Oh, and this guy, learn how to drive, will you? Anyways. I'm sorry, I can't stay behind you. I do not have the patience for it. I know the speed limit is low, but just don't be in front of me. Okay, well, I slept in and I realized that I was late going to work on my way to work. And then it took about 45 minutes to get my first trip. And then it took then I had short trips. I had short trips until like 10 o'clock. And then I finally had a longer one. And it got better. For a while there, I was getting 1 trip an hour, but they were like $30 trips, which was great. Just great. And now I'm ending my night with, what did she give me, 60? 280. I think it was 280. So I'm not complaining. If I've got 250 or more, I'm happy. Oh. I hate roundabouts. Well, you've heard me complain about that before, haven't you? Yeah. Well, it's late now. It's 5:53. So I will not have time to do any more fares after this. I will just get back to town and fuel up and park it. And that is that. That will be all. Yep, that will be all. Roundabouts. Hate them, hate them, hate them. All right, I got 2 more nights to go this week. Another morning at the airport. Now it's Thursday morning, and the time is now 4:13. So I have enough time to go back into town and have a few quick fares, take a few people to work, and stuff. I just counted the money, well, before this trip to the airport, and I had $210 before this fare, and now I have another 70, so I'm at 280. Once again, the evening was difficult with short trips and just stress. And the morning hours have been a lot easier than the evening hours. That seems to be a trend lately. So this was a good night so far. And I'm sure I'll get a couple more fares, maybe 3 or 4. Because people will want to go to work in the morning. And there's usually quite a few of them between the time of 4 and 6. Then at 6 I will wash the car, detail the interior, fuel up, and park it. And one more night to go this week. And yeah, it was tiring and it was busy enough. I'm doing okay. I'll be able to pay some bills towards the end of the month. And right now it's the 25th of July, so that's coming soon. The end of the month, that is. There's the rent. There's a Visa bill due on the 27th. I should pay that. Or is it on the 29th it's due? Yeah, something like that. And then there's another bill due on the 2nd of August, and the rent is due on the 1st, naturally. So I wonder what this guy's doing here. Tow truck with all his lights flashing. Don't they usually put their lights flashing when something's on the hook? And when there's nothing on the hook, they just, I don't know what he's doing there. Maybe somebody's moving a house. I've seen that happen before, where they're moving a house through here. Yeah, one more night to go this week. The time is 5:30 in the morning on a Friday. And it is a little bit smoky because there is a forest fire or a wild brush fire up or out to the west from here. And it was a relatively slow night. I did 15 or 16 trips, and not a lot of them were long trips. A lot of trips were in the $10 ballpark. So I only got $222, something like that, for being out here since 6 o'clock. So it hasn't been, that stellar, but I had a lot of time to watch videos, and I had time to sleep. And why can't you see me? Because that's not very good, is it? No, that's not very good at all. Oh well, too bad. So sad. I guess I'll be a silhouette for a while there. Maybe I'm just pointing the wrong. Oh, okay. You can see me better when I'm going through the shade. Yeah, not much to write home about tonight, but I did have one encounter with a very, very pleasant customer who I hadn't seen for a while. And I took her home from where she works, and it was like a $11 fare, and she was so happy to see me that she gave me a $20 bill. And later on, she called me to go pick her up and take her to a friend's place. It wasn't much. It was like $7, and she gave me another $20. I had given her my number because she asked for it. And when you have somebody really pleasant that you want to see get in the car, of course I'll give my number out. I don't give my number out to many people, but I gave my number out to this customer. And she asked me how long I was going to be out here, and I said till 6. She said, oh, I'll probably call you later. Well, she hasn't called me again, but it's not quite 6 yet. Anyway, it's been, like I said, on the slower side, so I might not get another trip. I might not get another trip before, well, yeah, I got 25 minutes to go. I might just sit in the parking lot and watch some more videos. And then, yeah. Fuel up, go home. Oh yeah, the car was in the shop a couple times this week. Last night, or this time yesterday, I noticed that the fuel consumption was awful high. I noticed it when I was at the fuel pump. It was really high. And then I met up with the owner yesterday, and he said, "Oh yeah, we fixed that." No, they didn't fix it. The fuel mileage on this car is abysmal. Usually it's about 5.2, 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers. It's in the $8 range now. That's 1.5 times the consumption it was doing before. And I think they changed an oxygen sensor or two. Anyway, it's running rich compared to what it was before. And I'm talking about the gasoline engine running rich. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave him a text message saying that the fuel mileage on this car really is bad. It is a pig compared to what it was before. And I think he wanted them to get rid of the check engine light. Well, who cares about the check engine light? They buggered up the car. They made it take 1.5 times as much fuel as it used to. That's not right. It's not right at all. So I have to pay through the nose to drive this thing now. Oh, maybe I'm disgusted and just want to go home. It is, after all, the end of my week. I hope yours is better than mine.